Hello everyone and welcome to my class. Now to continue with the third chapter of class 9th history, that is Nazism and the rise of Hitler. In this video I'll be talking about the reconstruction of the German economy and the foreign policies of the Hitler. When he came to power, what steps he had taken to reconstruct the economy, German economy. So let's start the topic. Now, in reconstruction of the economy, one thing I have made it very clear in the previous videos, that Hitler rose to power in such a circumstances when Germany really needed a strong personality to lead the nation, because it was undergoing through intense economic crisis, right, where a widespread unemployment and bankruptcy of the banks were one of the key feature of the economy at that time. So when Hitler knew this thing, that the challenge of reconstructing the economy is a very difficult, he took steps to improve the German economy. He wanted to satisfy the people, German people, by offering them employment, right? So for that sake he appointed an economist called Zalmar Sasche, and on his economic advice various steps were taken, like to create more employment in Germany. uh, he started to create the employment through the state funded work creation program, and the construction, such activities started, like the construction of German super highways, so that at least with the minimum wages, some employment were given to the people, right? And slowly steadily the economy can grow, right? This was the time when super highways was constructed, and new companies, like promotion or boost to the new companies and industries were given, like Volkswagen is a large car company these days. It started during that time, right? And steadily the economy started rising. Whatever the income comes to the state, maximum part of that income Hitler started utilizing for the more strength of German army, for buying equipments, for recruiting more number of soldiers into the army, right? And although Zalmar Sasche warned him not to spend too much on army, but Hitler, from an army background, he wanted to take the revenge of the Treaty of Versailles. He wanted to make Germany once again a strong nation, and for creating a strong nation, he required a very huge, strong army, right? So he was investing hugely on army. Then to carry on his ideas of expansion. Now, to talk about the success in the foreign policy, what policies were adopted by Hitler? Now, first thing that he done after coming to power, that Germany was pulled out of League of Nations in the year 1933. Now, what was the League of Nations? After the First World War, when the war was over, large number of people were killed in the war. It was decided by the nations who took part in the war. They decided that we need an organization which can work for the peace in the society, to avoid wars. So for that sake, jointly many nations in Europe and America, they decided to form an organization called the League of Nations, which will going to work to prevent the future wars, right? So Germany at that time, though it was defeated, it was asked Germany to sign the League of Nations, to become the member of League of Nations, and all the member nations will not going to fight in future. It was decided. But what happened when Hitler came to power? First thing he did, that he pulled out Germany from the League of Nations. Germany was now no more the member of the League of Nations. This make the intentions of the Hitler very clear, that he will do some military steps. He will expand militarily, right? Next, he signed a non-aggression pact with Poland in 1934. Means not to be indulge in any military activity with the Poland in 1934. Both these nations mutual understanding that they will not attack on each other, right? Neighboring nations. He reoccupied the Rhineland in the year 1936. Rhineland was a rich resource land of Germany, which was taken under the Treaty of Versailles by the foreign nations. So he reoccupied that land, which was earlier taken by other nation in 1936. In 1938, Austria and Germany, it was one of the term of Treaty of Versailles that Austria and Germany cannot integrate, cannot be unified. But in 1938, Austria and Germany were integrated by Hitler. They were merged together in one nation, right? And he gave the slogan, under the slogan, one people, one empire and one leader. Because Austria was having German population. So he merged these two into one nation. Again violating the terms of Treaty of Versailles. Then in the same year 1938, he captured the German speaking Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. Sudetenland was one of the region of Czechoslovakia where maximum population were of German speaking community. So he captured that Sudetenland part from Czechoslovakia, and he assured the European nations that this will be his last military action, military invasion, but he didn't follow that. In September 1939, he invaded Poland. He signed the non-aggression pact with Poland, but again he violated this pact and he invaded the Poland. And this led to the beginning of the Second World War, because Poland, for the support of Poland, to help Poland, England and France waged a war against Germany. So Germany invaded Poland, and for supporting Poland, England and France, they waged a war against Germany. So this is how the Second World War started. In September 1940, he signed a tripartite pact with two other powers, Italy and Japan. Since the war was on, the three nations, Germany, Italy and Japan, they formed their group and they decided that they'll fight together with each other in the war, right, against their enemies. Now here Japan, though it is an Asian nation, first time an Asian nation took direct part in the World War, right? Japan was very ambitious, and it was the only Asian nation which expanded its empire outside its mainland, like other imperialistic nation. So Japan, with the view that with seeing the popularity of Hitler and Mussolini in Italy, decided that Japan, that they will take part on their side, because there were bright chances of winning the war with them, right? So Japan became one of the member of tripartite pact that was signed between Germany, Italy and Japan. Tripartite means three powers involved in this pact. Then now in 1941, he did his life's biggest mistake, that Hitler invaded Soviet Union. There was a small town in Soviet Union called the Stalingrad. So Hitler sent his army to Stalingrad, and this battle of Stalingrad proved to be a turning point in the Second World War. This led to the defeat of German army. How? Stalingrad, though it was a small town, when German army reached there, when Hitler's army reached there, they didn't imagine that it was on the border of the Soviet Union, and Hitler had this view that by the time the Russian army will come to help the to help the Stalingrad, the German army will capture that place. But this didn't happen, as beyond their expectation, beyond his expectation, Hitler's expectation. When German army reached Stalingrad, they didn't imagine that even the native people, they stood against the German army, and they gave a stiff competition to them, right? So the local people of Stalingrad, they were the ones who were fighting against the German army, and they didn't let the German army to enter the town, right? And the war, the battle took the battle continued for long period, right? And the Russian army got a chance to reach there, right? So the German army was became a sandwich. It was a sandwich between they were fighting on two front, from the people of Stalingrad, and on the outer side they were fighting against the Russian army. So the whole Stalingrad, this battle, the timing that was selected by the Hitler was in the month of October, and this was the time when Russia was facing severe cold weather conditions. So the Russian people are habitual to such weather conditions, but not the German army. So that this again added a burden on the German army, Hitler's army. So ultimately, when no there was a blockade done by the Russian army, and no supplies, no help of Germany can reach there. So this led to the what the result was that the German army, the Hitler's army, they surrendered, and this was one of the defeat of Hitler, and it was beyond his imagination that his army will going to surrender. So it proved to be, Battle of Stalingrad proved to be a turning point in the from here the retreating of we can say the decline of Hitler's power started with this battle. Now it was a historic defeat of Hitler. Now when Hitler's army was fighting on with different nation in Europe, though the Italy's army were supporting Hitler, but just to help Hitler, Japan attacked on the Pearl Harbor to divert the other European forces to different direction to help the Hitler, since they have signed this pact. Japan attacked the Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is situated on Hawaii Islands of America, and it is a US naval base, right? So when bombardment was done by Japanese aircrafts on US Pearl Harbor, leading to the destruction of many ships. So the warning was given to Japan, and when Japan didn't bothered about this warning, what happened? USA also entered into the Second World War, and USA dropped 2 atom bombs on Japan, leading to the destruction of 2 cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now this was the end of the Second World War. Hitler's defeat, and Japan surrender to USA. So this pact, this group defeated in the Second World War, right? So this is all about how the important things happened when Hitler came to power, how Germany became one of the reasons for the starting of the Second World War, and how the defeat of Hitler took place, and he committed suicide, right? So in the next upcoming video, I'll be talking about more about Hitler's ideology. Politically, I have discussed the steps what Hitler had taken, and then in the next video I'll be talking about his ideology. So keep watching my videos. Please like, share and review, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.